Hey, it's me, Mercury. Welcome back to What If Deku had an elemental manipulation quirk? I'm sorry it came out so late. I meant to do this a while ago. I did do it, but accidentally deleted it. Well, I was deleting some other stuff, and it was uploading when I accidentally deleted it, so it did not finish uploading. I'm so sorry about that. And well, I just got a job, so that's another reason why I didn't do it. I've been working. So let me explain a little bit about the dreams again. So, the surroundings in the dream is their state of mind, like how sane they are. Now, Uraraka's is going to be different, but Toga's is going to be messed up. So, if you don't like that, then stop, just stop listening, okay? Anyways, okay. So, let's start off with Uraraka. So, let's see. Hmm, let's say, I think it was 3 weeks before the UA Sports Festival happened. Sorry. So 3 weeks before the UA Sports Festival happened, Uraraka was walking down the streets, going to a shop. But along the way, a black van came up, stopped next to her, and a bunch of people in masks came out and grabbed her. Now, everybody was kind of confused and worried, so they called the cops. And they told them what happened, the description of the men, the van, and that the van had no plate. And so a few days later, they checked the cameras over the lights and saw that the van disappeared into a portal that day. Now, every day she was tortured and beaten. But there was one who would always stay by her side, not helping her. She'd talk, like, get to know more about her and everything. But they heard about a certain student, and that captivated her. And it kinda angered her. So, uh, sorry. Damn, I'm not in the mood. So, she took some of her blood. And well, she decided to disguise as Uraraka. So she mm, put herself in a public area, had herself thrown out of a no, had herself dropped off in a public area when nobody was around, but where she could be seen by people that were passing by. She made it look like she was roughed up and stuff. So she was taken to the hospital after somebody found her and called the ambulance. She gave a statement, everything, and it was all true. So they let her go, and she went back to UA. Now we're going to time skip till probably about 3 days. No, let's see, 2.5 weeks after the sports festival. Now we can see Uraraka in a holding cell of sorts, and she's chained to the wall. Now she has scrapes, cuts, bruises, burn marks, and the door opens. Now oh, sorry, I can't speak. She looks to see who it was, and it was the same person who disguised as her. Now, yes, this is Toga. So Toga, she goes up to her and says, "Well, I had my fun. Now, what should I do with you?" So she begins to think, and she can't come up with nothing. And she decides to either kill her or sell her to a slave market. Now, let's see. Hold on. Okay, I figured it out. So she thinks to either kill her or sell her on the slave market. Now, she wants to kill her, but they do need money to hire other people. So she decides. So she goes to Shigaraki and tells him her plan. Now, of course, Shigaraki agrees, and well, they decided to sell her in 3 days. Well, no, 2 days. But before that can happen, they have to get a price on her. So they move her towards a doctor's office. Well, to the doctor. And, well, let's just say that some heroes saw her being transported, and they followed. And they also called for some backup. Now, they decide to gather their forces for at least a day and then go in and, well, rescue whoever it was being transported. Because the person had a hood over their head and they couldn't see. So, the next day, she's healed up somewhat, and she... let's see. She has quirk suppressant cuffs on, and she's oh fuck, can't speak. And she has a leash around her neck. Let's just say that. And she's being dragged towards where the auction house would normally be. And after a couple of hours, she's finally put up on auction. Now, before anything could happen, heroes bust through the doors and, well, arrest a few people, but most managed to escape because there was hundreds, if not thousands, of people there. And when they get to who was being sold, some of them was not managed to be found. Most of the stuff was apprehended, and the Uraraka was saved. That was until they pulled off the hood and saw it was her. They took a defensive stance, but well, damn, I can't think. One of the police officers went in to detain her, and she had a blank look in her eyes. She didn't react enough dancing, and they got her to a hospital. Now, this Thangs kid, Cheetos. Now, she was in that state for both of those days, and nothing. She wouldn't talk to nobody. It was like she was on autopilot until the next day. Now, go. Let's go into what happened that night. That night, Uraraka fell asleep. She thought she would have another nightmare, but it wasn't. Well, sort of. But it wasn't as bad. She wasn't in her usual place. She wasn't back in the cell. She was in a ballroom. She was wearing a red dress. And there were people around her, but they weren't dancing. They were just simply staring at her, not moving. The occasional whisper here and there, and as time passed, it got louder and louder. She tried to run through a couple of doors, but they wouldn't open. The windows were barred. It was like she was trapped, until she felt a hand on her shoulder. Now, she turned around and went to punch, but there was nobody there, until she felt hands wrap around her, and saying, "It's okay." Now, Uraraka, she tried to run, but the people wouldn't move no more. She couldn't push them. She was trapped with whoever that was. So she slowly turns around and sees that she can't recognize who it was. Actually, more like she couldn't see who it was. He was. It was like he was there, but not at the same time. Like something is interfering with him. Interfering with him. Now, he holds out his hand and she slowly walks up to him, cautious in case something bad happens. And she takes his hand. Now, she does something that she does not expect. He pulls her in and starts to dance with her. Now, this gets a collective gasp from the crowd and an angry murmuring, saying, "You shouldn't do it that with her. She's tainted, spoiled." Like just a bunch of random stuff to deter him from dancing with her. But as he kept on dancing, she felt calm. Not anxious, not scared, not, what's the word? Trapped. And, well, let's say the environment she's in is kind of like a gloomy, an extreme gloomy, dark colors everywhere. Let's say a dark purple and a light black. And, well, as he was dancing, the memories stopped, but everything else stayed the same. And they were just watching them dance. And he said, "See, everything's fine, just like I said." And she could only nod her head. Now, he stops dancing with her and says, "Well, till next time, I'll see you again." When she went to reach out for him, he vanished and everything became black. And that's when she woke up. And the police came in and they saw something was different with her. They noticed that she slept. The nurses noticed that she slept a little bit longer, and well, the police came in a little bit earlier to check on how she was doing, and they could see that she had hope in her eyes, but there was still that fear and doubts that was there. And so, when they asked her what happened, she went back into that state, but only for a few minutes, because she remembered everything that happened. But then she remembered the boy, the one that danced with her, and how calm and safe she felt. So while telling her story, she kept on thinking about that. And, well, Takaichi was there. However, however you pronounce his name. He was there and he confirmed that everything was true. That she had no signs of abnormality. And, well, yeah. So, they decided to look into what she said. And they found out that she was the girl that was captured a few months ago after showing some pictures to the people that called in. And, well, this goes on for a few days. Them searching for the place, for the hideout of the League of Villains and stuff like that. Her having the dreams. And, well, she's doing much better. The doctors can tell. And when a nurse asked what happened one day, she's like, well, he comes to me every night and we talk. He dances with me. He makes me feel safe. Tsukaichi overheard this and he went to question her more, like, what do you mean he... What do you mean he comes and makes you feel safe and talks to you and dances? So she gives him the rundown. He comes to her in her dreams. And, well, he lets her vent. He talks to her. He calms her down. And, well, he makes her feel safe and not so much alone, but accepted. Not so alone and accepted, I should put it. Now, she gets... She talks to some people about her dreams, and, well, they can at least tell that the dreams are a coping mechanism, but they've heard of it before. 2 other cases to be in fact. And both cases started out similar to that, but not exactly. Both scenarios in different formats. Well, all scenarios in different formats. All talking about different things, but always about who he was and how they know him. Now, once Uraraka heard this, she was kind of surprised, like, he's been talking to other people. Now, she kind of gets upset, and, well, she wants to go to bed early to talk to him. But the nurses don't allow that. She said, no, if you want to talk to him, you have to wait. You don't want to get up early tomorrow and have nothing to do. Sorry about that. Blank mind. So, she agrees, but is impatient and kind of annoyed. And, well, his face never changed. She could not see him still. And, well, she goes to bed that night. This is final night. She goes to bed. And, well, she sees him. But she's kind of annoyed with him. And he's wondering why everything's not as it used to be. Over time, it became lighter, a white with a light purple color. I forgot the name of the purple that I was wanting to go with. But, and everybody was dancing this time. Everybody was at least a little bit happy. But you can see there's some gloom in their faces. And it's even more evident tonight. Because they're not dancing. They're just standing there, holding each other. And she walks up to him and asks him, "Why have you been visiting other people?" Now, he doesn't say nothing. Because he knew that she was a little agitated. And going back into that hole. Slowly, but she is. He can tell. Now, he has to choose his next words carefully. Because if you don't, he can send her spiraling. And, well, he says, the reason why I went to visit them was not just for their sakes. And the reason why I'm visiting you is not for your sake either. Not just for your sake either. It's for yours, theirs, and mine. Now, Uraraka's confused by this. And she asks, "What do you mean? It's for your sake too." So, he's kind of torn between telling her or not to and have her spiral into that place forever. So, he decided to take a risk and break a rule that he was not supposed to set. Well, not supposed to cross. He says, "Well, I'm not exactly I'm not exactly where you think I am. I'm not. I'm in a place that. How do I explain this? I'm in a very bad place. And I need to get out. Just to see you, them, and someone else." Now, Uraraka is, like, majorly confused. He's in a bad place, but he needs to speak to us to get out. Now, this conversation goes on, and he's trying to be as cryptic as he can to not push the limits of the boundary that he's already breaking. But he does say that in order for him to get back, she has to remember him, along with the other three. And, well, they go on talking, but he still remains the same. And, well, he still has feelings for her. But she doesn't know. So before the dream ends, he walks up to her and says, "Well, I may not be able to return now. I I hope to see you again. Goodbye." And he kisses her. Now, this is a deep, passionate kiss. And when they both open their eyes, he did not fade. The dream didn't. The dream didn't end. Somehow she is able to force herself to stay asleep. Down on the outside, the doctors came in and, well, they were a little concerned because this is usually around the time that she's awake. She's usually up at least 5 minutes before they come in. And they try to wake her up, but she's not waking up. It's like she's in a coma, kinda. And well, this goes on for about 5 hours. And during those 5 hours, they talked. And well, they got intimate. I'll say nothing happened. They just got intimate. Like mm, nothing serious happened because it's a dream. To be honest, nothing unless you're. Oh well. Nothing happened, but the more they talked and hugged, kissed, cuddled, whatever you want to do in your mind, the more she could see him. Now, this continued on for about another 3 hours. Now, they were just playing games for these 3 hours, and during the last hour, she could finally see him. And he's kind of confused because she was able to stay asleep long enough to see me. How? Was it her mind? Was it her mind or her heart wanting the attention? Or was it them wanting to know who I was? So, the dream starts to fade again. And, well, they say goodbye, and she says, I hope to see you again. But this time, not in the dream. And, well, that's the end of it. But as soon as the dream ended, another one started. In the League of Villains at the bar, Toga was sitting down, but she felt weird. She felt like she was about to pass out. Like any second she'll just drop and she won't wake up. At least for a while. So she says that she's tired and she goes to her bed, locks her doors just in case. And well, she immediately lays down and falls asleep. Now, this place, she never wanted to be here again. Yes, it had good memories, but it was also one of the worst memories of her life. Now, you're wondering where she is. Well, she's at her old high school. And there's a cherry blossom tree behind it. Sorry about that. And well, there's a heart with letters and an arrow piercing through it. Now, she understands what it means, but she wants to get away from here as far as possible. Now, let's just to clarify the place a bit. There are body parts, hands, legs, all over the tree, except for a foot around the heart and letters. The heart. And there's bodies all over the ground around it and throughout the school. And, well, of course, blood all over the place. Now, remember what I said. This is a description of the person's mind. Maybe wondering, why am I doing this? Well, I think it's a kind of accurate but over exaggerated of Toga's mind. I'm not entirely sure. That's just how I picture it. So, she was starting to run, but she found that she always came back to the tree. And, well, she started breaking down even more. And she starts to back away until she hits the tree. And then she turns around and looks at the only place that isn't desecrated, I guess I should say. But one of the letters are blurred out. And, well, she remembers what the letter is, but she can't place her finger on it. She knows, but it's on she can't. She can't say. She can't think of it. She just knows, like it's something down deep in her soul. So she turns back around and says, "What are you doing here? I thought you hated me." Now this took him by surprise. I never hated you. I was just a little scared and somewhat disappointed that you would do that. But I never hated you. I still don't. How could I hate you? And she was surprised and angry at the what's it called, answer that she gave him, that he gave her. So she started shouting like, "You lied. You know you said that you hated me. I know it. You know it. Just admit it. Admit that you hate me, that you never loved me, that it was all just a joke to you." Now, he runs to her and hugs her. And he's like, "I never hated you. I never will. I do love you. This was never a joke. It's all in your head. That's what you told yourself." And, well, she starts to break down. And he says, "Well, I don't want to keep you here any longer. So, I'll talk to you when you fall asleep tomorrow. Goodbye. And, well, she wakes up. Now, this continues on for 4 days, and the League's kind of worried about her. And, well, they notice that she's changed a little. She doesn't act as crazy or childish. She's acting more mature and, well, sane. Not that much, but still. They're worried about her. Well, nobody knows what's happening except for Twice. And, Magna, whatever his or her name is. I believe that's their name. So, she goes to them every day, telling them what happened in her dreams. And that, well, the place was a complete disaster. It was like a psychopath's field day, so to speak. And, well, now it's even less so. There's less bodies, hands, feet, blood. And, well, there's even a rose that's growing on the hill next to the tree. Now, they're kind of worried that they'll lose their best friend, so they try to take her out. And, well, they try to go around, kill people, rob, whatever. But it doesn't work. She still likes to kill and all that, but she hasn't changed. She isn't her usual self. Her craving for blood is, well, it's not contained, but it's controlled. She's controlling it somehow. And, well, her ability's gotten better. Her quirk's gotten better. Now, they're kind of confused by this. Like, what is this person doing to her? Why is he doing this? Is he helping her? Is he trying to destroy the friendship that we have, or what? Now, they try to keep her awake, but she can't stay awake. No matter what they do, she always falls asleep. It's like it's like she's forced to. And, well, they told Awful One. And, well, the last day, they brought Toga to him and told her he told her when she falls asleep, I'll go there with you. And so he did. And, well, he noticed that this sky was blood red, but what she told them was true. There were roses, bodies, and he's kind of confused by this. It's like, half of the world is perfect, but the other half is complete hell. And, well, there's parts of hell and parts of perfect in each one. It's like she's stabilizing, but it's not complete. And, well, he turns around and he just sees pure darkness in the shape of a man, but with bright eyes. Eyes that look like light. Now, he's surprised, like, this is not who she said was there. And he asks, "Who is this?" And she runs up to him and hugs him. Like they've been friends for the longest time. Until she kisses him. Now this surprises all for one. And well, he tries to pull her apart, but for some reason he can't move. And he looks down and he sees that his legs are wrapped in vines. And hands are grabbing onto him. And well, they talk, but all for one can't. All for one can't hear them talk. Now, he's confused by this, and he gets Toga's attention, and he talks to her. Like, what are y'all saying? Who is this, and why does he look like this? And, well, he's surprised by what she says. Well, he's my ex-boyfriend, and, well, I guess you could say he's the reason why I've been I've been maturing and getting a better handle on my quirk. Now, this surprises all for one, and he's like, "Well, is this what's his quirk?" And she says, "Well, I can't really remember when I'm in here, but when I'm outside, I can. Though I don't remember who he is much on the outside." And, well, all for one tries to wake her up any way possible, but then he tries to steal her ex's boyfriend's quirk. But he thought that he would disappear and this would all be over. She'd finally go back to the way she was. But when he tries to steal it, something weird happens. He touches him, but he just gets covered in darkness. Now, Toga, she's like, "What are you doing?" And Allthorn just starts to scream. And he also screams in real life. Because the darkness that's holding onto him is crushing his arm. And you can see it in real life. His arm is slowly being crushed and blood sprouting everywhere. Now, everyone's worried, confused, and, well, they're shocked. They're trying to wake them up, but nothing's working. And so Toga figures out, is like, "Hey, don't do that to him. Leave him alone. Calm down. It's alright." And, well, he releases him. Now, Offwin's like, "What's happening? Why can't I take your quirk?" And Deku, well, and the boy's like, "Well, because it's simple. This isn't my quirk. This isn't even a quirk. Now, what you're seeing is part of my quirk. She can see me because, well, she knows me. You can only see my quirk in the shape of me." Well, the part of my quirk that I'm more affinitive to now. Now, this surprises all for one's like affinitive. Like, oh, well, wouldn't you like to know? But I think it's time for you to leave. I mean, you're gonna have to treat that wound or you'll bleed and die out. Now, this surprises all for one. Is like, Wait, before I go, would you like to join the League of Villains? Become my right-hand man and I can give you power beyond your wildest dreams. Money, women, anything that you desire. And, well, he starts to laugh. And, well, the darkness starts to spread all around him until it envelops All for One in it. Not the original person that killed them. Not what killed them, it was always him. And, well, he doesn't want this no more. He tries to leave, he tries to wake up, he tries everything. And then the black, then the dark world turns into a pure bright one. And, well, he sees his current family. Well, people who he considers the current family. Shiraki and Kuragiri. But the darkness is slowly creeping towards them, and he hears a voice saying, "If you ever attempt to offer me something like that again, or even come after me and try to take my quirk like you did, like you just did, everything else that you love away from you." Now, this kind of surprises All For One because he thought that he casted love out of his heart, but it seems he didn't. He needs to handle that. But but the voice said again, "These two will forever be in your heart. This is the curse I place on you. So if they die, you will not be able to overcome it. Ever." And black and white shackles come forth out of nowhere and bind those two to him. The light coming from Shigaraki and Kurigiri going towards All For One and turning into darkness. And there's an axe up above the middle area where it's gray. Do you understand that I can take them just like this? No questions asked, no strings attached. And, well, All For One says, "Yes, I understand. I won't do it again. Just don't do this." He's scared because this has never happened to him. He's always got what he wanted. Or at least somewhat of what he wanted. But this one, the tables turned on him. Kind of like it did with his brother. And now he's cursed? Can a quirk do this? Or what is it? Now, All For One wakes up, and everyone's glad that he woke up happy and relieved. And they ask him what happened. How did you get this wound? And why do you look so scared? Now, he explains what happened, and Toga wakes up. And everybody's just kind of looking at her like, "What'd you do? Why'd you do this? like, and Toga's like, why are y'all looking at me like that? And so she gets explained what happened, and she's kind of mad at him, but she understands. Like, she knows who he is completely and knows what he wants to be. But she also knows that he still has feelings for her and, well, isn't mad at her. He doesn't hate her. So she's happy. And, well, in the next part, you'll see what happens. And, I may explain a little bit between the past of Toga and Deku. Because we all know who the person is. Except for All For One. And I'll explain a little bit about why All For One couldn't take his quirk. Although he could do the dream. I'm just going to say that. He could do the dream. But there's a reason why he can't. Anyways, this is Mercury, signing out. I hope you all have a nice day, nights, whatever it is for you. Day, night. Somewhere in between. And, well, bye.